What happens after high school? Let's talk about it. Welcome to this episode of the Special Education Inner Circle podcast. I'm your host, Catherine Witcher. I've got a couple resources for you that you're going to want to remember when this episode is over. So get ready to take a few notes because we're going to talk about what opportunities are out there after high school because it seems like there's not a whole lot, right? And in some cases, that's very true. In fact, I get asked by parents all the time, what's available for my child after high school? I feel like I'm not finding a whole lot of resources. Teachers and transition coordinators, they're asking me the same thing. And I'm like, you know what? There's not a whole lot out there, but there's a whole lot of possibility. There's a whole lot of things that could be happening, but it takes people who want to make a difference. And you know what? A lot of times that comes from parents. So I want to tell you about two moms. We've got Sue and we've got Julia. And most likely, if you're a mom of a child with disability, you are like Sue or you are like Julia. So let's talk about this just for a minute. So Sue is somebody who I met recently. Sue is the developer of a streaming app called Delight Station. Now, she never thought that she was going to be the developer of an app. She never thought that she was going to be creating different shows that would be streaming for her daughter, who's an adult with Down syndrome. She didn't think that she'd be doing this, but she needed to find something because she tried all the things out there. She tried the day programs for her daughter. She tried running her own day programs. She tried using all the resources, and she found that there was this lack of kind of connection in our adult with disabilities world and a lack of a safe connection. So she created this solution called Delight Station. Delight Station is something that you're going to want to write this down, okay? Because you're going to go to your app store after this. Go download Delight Station. I'm going to make sure wherever you're watching this that you have a code so you can get a discount on this streaming solution. And here's why Sue created it. She wanted a place where her daughter could open up her phone, click on an app, and be safe and see people just like her. See, I get to turn on the TV. I see people just like me. You turn on the TV, you see people just like you. And in our disability world, we see spotlights, right? We're like, oh, there's a person with Down syndrome on this show. Oh, look there's a commercial that has, a deaf child. Oh, look, this movie has, employed this disabled person to actually play the role of a disabled person. So we have little spotlights, and that's great. That's awesome, right? That we're getting more inclusive in that way. But what about just being able to say, hey, there's people like me around here all the time. So Sue saw this gap, and as a mom, she knew that she needed to create something for her daughter because nobody else was going to do it, right? So she created this app called Delight Station, where now her daughter and her daughter's peers, which would include my brother, across the country, right? They're across the country from each other, but they can turn on this app and they can see people just like them. And that's really important in our adult community to have that connection. So Sue is the type of mom that sees something missing and she creates it. So I'm wondering, are you Sue? If you're a mom, are you like, I just have these ideas and I'm going to have to make them come to life because nobody else is doing it. And it feels scary. And it feels like, is this possible? And it feels like, shouldn't somebody else have already done this? Yes, all of those things. Or maybe you're a Julia. So Julia is actually my mom. So my mom is a fixer when it comes to things. So she sees something that is not as good as it could be for my brother, and she wants to fix it. So she's not a creator of new things, but if there's, let's just say, a Best Buddies program in the area that needs some fine tuning, they need to have some more exciting activities. They need to have more involvement, more encouragement of independence, more and more and more of these things, right? My mom steps up and says, I'll help. I'll do it. I'll go on the board. I'll help make things better. So she's the person who jumps into what is already in motion, and maybe it's going in the right direction, or maybe it has kind of fallen to the wayside and she's willing to kind of pick things up and get it going again. That's a Julia. And there's a lot of Julias out there too, right? Who are seeing like, this is wrong. I need to fix this. So, or maybe again, you're like a Sue who's like, this is missing. I need to create this. But here's what's really important. I just want to give some encouragement to our moms who have children who are going to graduate high school and have a lack of resources. I understand that it can feel overwhelming, that it can feel disappointing, that there's some grief in that stage of life also, right? As you're transitioning out of school. I know that a lot of parents who are listening right now, you have children who are in the elementary and middle school, and you're like, I don't even want to think about it. But it's okay to think about it. It's okay to start thinking about what is missing, what could be improved, what could be created. So here's the thing, like Sue had no idea. She is not a tech person. In fact, she had to go connect with some family member and friends to make Delight Station happen, but she wasn't willing to let it go. The resources to make your opportunities come true are out there, but you need to get connected with people, right? You're not supposed to do it all on your own. That's why I'm going to encourage you that if you go download Delight Station, okay, go to your app store, download it, go take a look at it. I kind of equate it to HGTV, as in I looked at some of the shows and I've watched some of them and I'm looking at them, I'm like, oh, they're doing crafts. Oh, they're showing like the lights at Christmas. Oh, they're showing how to do a new hairstyle. And it's all made with adults with disabilities. And I'm like, we watch this stuff all the time as, typical adults, right? We're watching how-to shows. We're watching just interesting things that are happening in other people's houses, other people's neighborhoods with that. So I really loved just the realness and the reflection of what is true and what is possible inside of our disability community. So will you do me a favor? Go download Delight Station and go connect with Sue on Instagram. So you'll find, again, I'll put their Instagram handle below here, but go send them a DM and say, I love the work that you're doing. Like, it's important for us in the disability community to encourage each other, not to say that's cool and move on. Because you know what? This can feel like a lonely place, right? You need to say, that's cool. I'm going to go tell them. I'm going to go tell them that I appreciate their work. I appreciate their innovation. I appreciate their leadership. I appreciate that you've taken this to the next level. So if you could go do that for Sue, that would be really great. As I'm looking at her creativity and I'm thinking about all of the moms that I've been working with as I've been traveling around doing IEP workshops across the country, a lot. In the past, 6 to 9 months, I've met a lot of parents and teachers, and the lack of resources is a hot topic all the time. The lack of opportunities, we're always talking about what's wrong and what the lack is. So today we're talking about what's right. We're talking about, Sue, and then we're talking about Julia who's going out and stepping up and saying, this could be better. And you know what? I know that you're tired as a mom. I get it. But I can tell you that if you connect with other people, and that's my mom's gift there. She connects with other people who are in an organization and say, come on, we can do this. We can put some life back into this program. We can reach new goals. We can do new things. We can show the world what our adults with disabilities are capable of. And we can do this. But when you're trying to do this all alone, it is more kind of energy sucking than it is energy giving. But when you connect with others, that's what I'm saying. Go connect with Sue at Delight Station. Go connect with your organizations in your area where you see the moms who are making a difference and stepping up. Because you know what? They're tired too, but they're making it happen. So life after high school, I don't have this magical kind of formula. It's very standard in the, go to your state, go to your county, go to your just kind of local area, see what the Department of Human Services has to offer, go apply for a waiver, go try and find some employment. Maybe you need some supportive employment, so you'll get some help possibly through the state to go find some supportive employment at hopefully, an organization, a job, a company that is accepting of your child. Like, all of these things are things we need to navigate. And there's no right, like, if you do it this way, then this leads to success. You're going to be figuring that out on your own, but you don't have to do it by yourself. And then my guess is that you're going to be a Sue or you're going to be a Julia. You're going to say, you know what, there's something missing here. I'm going to create it. And, you're going to create something that's going to be life-changing for your own family, like for Sue's daughter. when she created Delight Station, and now she helps create the content and connect in our community? Or you're going to be like Julia and you're going to say, you know what? I'm going to step up. I'm going to make this different, because we no longer can accept where our world has been for the past 20 years as the future in the next 20 years. We have to change this. So again, I want to encourage you as a mom who's worried about what's going to happen after high school. You're not missing something. There is a lack of resources, but there are moms just like you that have been worried, that have been frustrated, and they've created something completely different that has brought joy and happiness and meaning in a whole new way that you have never imagined, because perhaps you've never seen it, because perhaps you're the one who needs to create it. If you have ideas, if you're just like, do you know if anything like this exists? Will you reach out to me on Instagram and send me a DM and say, do you know if? Like, I know a lot of things that are happening in the adult with disabilities world. And I mean, I could talk for days and days and days about all the different companies that are out there, the resources that are out there, the playgrounds that are being built, the amusement parks that are accessible, the cruise ships that are disability friendly. I could talk about all those things, but you need to reach out to me and say, hey, do you know of anything like this? And I'm going to do my best to find you those resources. I'm going to do my best to find you the people like Sue and like Julia that you can connect with, so you can get to a place where life after high school just doesn't feel so scary. It feels like a world of opportunity. All right, guys, I'll talk to you next time on the Special Education Inner Circle podcast. Don't forget to share this with somebody who is worried about life after high school, so they can get the hope and the connection that they need to know that anything is possible life after high school. We are not limited to what is currently available. Bye, everyone.